You're sitting at home. The sun just dipped below the horizon. The sky turns from orange to indigo to black. The adhan for Maghrib echoes through the air, and your grandmother's voice echoes louder in your head. Come inside? The Jinn come out after Maghrib, and you wonder, was she just being superstitious? Or is there a deeper truth buried in those words? Because across Muslim cultures, from Morocco to Malaysia, Turkey to Tanzania, there's a shared belief. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more amazing content. When Maghrib comes, the unseen wakes. But here's the thing, this isn't folklore. It's Sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, when the night falls, or when evening comes, keep your children close, for the devils spread out at that time. Then after a while, you can let them go. Read that again. The devil's shayatin spread out when Maghrib enters. The Prophet, peace be upon him, didn't speak in metaphors when it came to the unseen. He spoke with truth, so yes, your parents were right. Maghrib isn't just the start of nightfall. It's the changing of spiritual guards. Daylight filled with angels begins to withdraw, and the night, a realm where the Jinn roam freely, begins to stir. You see, Jinn are not fantasy. They're not just stories for campfires. They are real beings made of smokeless fire, as Allah tells us clearly. And the Jinn we created before from scorching fire, they live among us. They eat, they marry, they die, and most importantly, they watch. But there's something special about Maghrib, this moment, when light fades and darkness creeps in, is a threshold. It's a liminal time, a crack between two worlds, and just like rats come out in dark corners, so too do the Jinn emerge when the barriers between seen and unseen grow thin. That's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught specific practices for this time. He said, when night comes, restrain your children, for the devils come out at that time. But when an hour of the night is past, let them go and close the doors and say, Bismi Allah, for Shaitan does not open a door that is closed with the name of Allah. Think about it. How many of us rush to pray Maghrib yet forget to close our doors, to seal our homes with dhikr, to protect our families from the real visitors of the night? We leave windows open, spiritually and literally, and wonder why anxiety creeps in, why tempers rise, why strange energy fills the air. They're waiting for your neglect, and when you ignore the Prophet's words, you leave your house exposed. Just like you'd never leave your doors unlocked in a bad neighborhood. Why leave your soul's defenses down in the most spiritually vulnerable hour? Because here's what most people don't know. Not all Jinn are evil, but all of them are opportunistic. They notice the places where Allah is forgotten. They're drawn to homes where no Quran is recited, rooms filled with idle talk and music, spaces where screens glow but dhikr is silent. They don't need to possess you. They just need you to forget to say Bismi Allah. Forget to pray on time. Forget to seek protection when the sun sets. And in that forgetfulness, they enter. So now that you know the unseen stirs at Maghrib, the question becomes, what do you do about it? Because the Prophet, peace be upon him, didn't just warn us, he equipped us. He gave us instructions not to live in fear, but to live with awareness, to build a fortress of dhikr that no Jinn could penetrate. He said, lock your doors, cover your vessels, and mention the name of Allah. For Shaitan cannot open what has been closed or covered in the name of Allah. Every time you say Bismi Allah as you close the door, it becomes a seal, not a physical lock, but a spiritual force field, one that Shaitan cannot break through. It's subtle, but it works because the Jinn don't walk through doors like ghosts. They slip through heedlessness. That's the real entryway, and it's not just about doors. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, do not leave food or drink uncovered at night. Cover it, even if only by placing a stick across the top, and say, Bismi Allah, because what you don't cover, you risk contaminating, not just with bacteria, but with the unseen. Now think about our modern lives. How many people eat in front of a glowing screen, forgetting to say Bismi Allah? How many homes have noise, music, arguments, but no Quran echoing through the walls? The jinn are drawn to emptiness, and that's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us to keep the remembrance of Allah alive. He, peace be upon him, said, "Recite Surah Al-Baqarah in your homes. Shaitan does not enter a house in which Al-Baqarah is recited." Surah Al-Baqarah, a weapon of light. It's not just words, it's a deterrent to the jinn. That surah burns. It shakes their presence. It makes the home spiritually uninhabitable for them. But if you don't recite it, if you leave the Quran dusty on a shelf, if the only sound after Maghrib is Netflix or TikTok or pointless laughter, you've sent an invitation, you've left the door wide open, even your children. The Prophet, peace be upon him, specifically said, "Hold them close after Maghrib, for that is when the devils disperse." You may think they're just acting up, crying, running, becoming restless, but sometimes those little tantrums, those strange fears, those nightmares aren't just from sugar or overstimulation. They might be sensing what you don't see. Because children are pure, their spiritual senses are sharp. They haven't been dulled by the dunya. So if the Prophet, peace be upon him, told you to hold them close, to keep them inside after sunset, it's not superstition. It's protection. Maghrib is a time of transition, and in transitions, souls are vulnerable. Even the angels change shifts. Did you know that? The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Angels take turns among you. By night and by day, they meet at the time of Fajr and Asr. And while angels rise and descend, so too do the jinn emerge. The veil's thin, the world between light and darkness touches, and what you do in that hour determines who joins you. Will it be angels or the opposite? That's why your habits matter. Say the evening adkar. Say the dua for protection. I seek refuge in the perfect words of Allah from the evil of what He has created. Say it for yourself. Say it for your children. Say it for your home. Because Maghrib isn't just another hour. It's a test. It's a crossroad. And every evening, you're being asked, will you close the door or leave it open? But what if I told you, Maghrib isn't just the hour the jinn come out. It's also the hour when you're most likely to forget who you are. Because nightfall doesn't just cloak the world in darkness. It begins to unveil your nafs, the lower self, the part of you that sleeps by day but awakens when desire is hungry. That's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, didn't only warn of the jinn. He warned of the steps of shaitan. And what are those steps of shaitan? And what are those steps? They're subtle. They begin at Maghrib. A delay in your salah, a quick glance at something haram, a whisper that says you've had a long day, you deserve a break, a scroll that turns into a binge, a message you know you shouldn't answer, a feeling of restlessness, like your heart can't settle. This is no accident because Shaitan, just like the jinn, thrives in darkness, not just physical darkness, spiritual darkness. He doesn't need you to commit a major sin. He just needs you distracted at Maghrib. He needs you to forget the moment, to miss the adhan, to ignore your heart's whisper. Because this hour, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, is one of the most sensitive, and in that sensitivity, you either anchor your soul to Allah, or you let it float into shadow. Have you ever wondered why your anxiety rises after sunset? Why your heart feels heavier? Why temptations seem louder? It's not a coincidence, because just as the jinn are released into the night, so are the chains on your desires. But listen closely, there's another side to Maghrib. While jinn scatter and whispers grow, the believers are called not by fear, but by light. The adhan pierces the sky. Angels begin to record the night's deeds, and Allah opens gates of mercy for those who turn to Him in these moments. This is why Maghrib is one of the prayers most neglected, but also one of the most spiritually powerful, because it stands between the hustle of dunya and the stillness of the night. The Prophet, peace be upon him, never treated Maghrib like just another prayer. He rushed to it, he sought relief in it. He taught us to say, O Allah, protect us from the evil of this night and those who dwell within it. Because he knew you're not just protecting yourself from outer forces, you're protecting your soul from slipping. And that's the real war. It's not just about jinn hiding in corners, it's about the habits you form when the sun sets. Do you reach for your phone or the Quran? Do you run toward entertainment or toward Maghrib prayer? Do you fall into arguments and noise, or do you quiet your heart in dhikr? The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever prays Maghrib and Isha in congregation, it is as if he spent the whole night in worship." Why? Because the one who protects his soul at night is the one who walks in light by day. So tonight, ask yourself, when the sun sets, do I rise in remembrance or do I fall into the trap? Because the jinn will always come out. That will never change. But the real question is, will they find an open door or a house guarded by the name of Allah? Close the door, say Bismi Allah, hold your children close. Recite Ayatul Kursi, pray Maghrib on time, and remember, in a world of shadows, even a small act of light can keep an entire army of jinn away. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing content.